I've spent already 7 years in Silicon Valley working with startups and investors, connecting the dots, seeing all the good, bad, and ugly of a startup investment culture. And I've seen a lot of founders coming from the global market from various places outside of the United States and aiming to raise their first round and land their company in the United States to pursue their dream to build the next unicorn, to become the next success story that the world will hear about, and to build a product that will change people's lives. And if you're an early stage startup founder like that, just entering the United States market for the first time, I can tell you, I know exactly what you're going through trying to raise your first round. Because fundraising process can often be pretty exhausting and frustrating, especially when you don't have much of a previous experience in it. And if you're doing it for the first time, you most likely will spend a lot of time navigating this process, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, navigating your way through it, and probably you will be making a lot of mistakes. Raising your first round, your seed round, you often don't know where to start. You don't know many investors yet. They don't know about you. You heard you need warm introductions, but you don't know where exactly to get them. You haven't raised funding before, and you don't have much of a previous reputation yet. Maybe this is your first startup, or maybe you failed a couple of times already. Fundraising can be quite intimidating, especially if you've never been introduced to Silicon Valley investment scene, where the majority of investors still are. Especially after the pandemic, things have become quite different. Being a foreign founder, you often don't know how the investment culture works in the United States. You don't know where to find your potential investors and how to approach them, how to pitch your startup, what is the proper language to speak to those investors, how to negotiate with them, how to close your deal. And if you tried doing this already, you might have noticed that investors often don't get back to you. They don't respond to your emails. They quickly disappear from the events where you're trying to catch them at. And it takes a long time for them to review your deck, and even after they do, you often get a lot of rejections with very vague explanations, or sometimes without explanations. Or they might give you feedback on your project that can discourage you and make you believe that it's too early for you to raise or that your project is not investable. Believe me, I've seen even seasoned serial entrepreneurs who've done previous exits still struggle with fundraising and were receiving around 80 plus rejections from the investors before they got to the first yes. Not even saying that fundraising is a very energy and time consuming activity that you need to focus on for at least 2 to 6 months in order to get results. And that for your startup, especially if you still have a small team, that means a huge distraction that you would need to put on a pause all your business activities, your product development, your customer acquisitions, and solely focus on fundraising process. It is a separate activity. And you, of course, can have a dedicated team member to do that who might also be doing it for the first time. But still, you as a founder will be involved and have to dive into this process to prepare your pitch, to appear in front of the investors, to look for introductions, to do your research and due diligence on potential investors, to prepare how to answer their questions, to attend and follow up every meeting, to build personal relationships with them. So it still will be a lot of work. On the other hand, if you don't raise your round fast enough, that can create a negative word of mouth about your company among the investors. As the time goes, they see nobody is investing in your startup, so the attractiveness of your company for them is going down. So you don't want to waste your time and not to raise. You heard probably that only about 2% of early stage startups raise funding, and you always thought you definitely are in this small group of those who get lucky. But as time goes, you can start questioning if this is even possible for you to raise. And if you already invested so much effort, so much resources, time, you made so many people believe in your startup, so you just can't afford to fail. So failing is not an option. What if I told you there is a better, more optimal way to do your fundraising campaign? Why wasting your time inventing the bicycle when instead you can team up with people who've been there, done that, have networks, have connections, have existing relationship with investors, and have lots of expertise helping many other startups get in front of the investors and get funded. Someone who can show you a shortcut and save your precious resources and save your time so you could continue focus on building your startup. Someone who you can trust to and who could take this burden off your shoulders and help you navigate the whole process and provide you with warm intros and get investors to say yes to you. Someone who would take your hand and just walk you through the whole process to help you avoid all the pitfalls and expensive mistakes. Wouldn't that be nice? My company, Indina-Consulting, is based in Silicon Valley since 2017 and in Miami also as of the last year. I have been working with major Silicon Valley venture funds, helping them source and select the best startups from the global market. I've built a network of thousands of investors, starting from top 100 venture funds in the world to individual angel investors to private equity and family offices. I pretty much know everybody who has value in this community. And I will be able to help you with your fundraising process and walk you through it step by step. Together, we will draft a pitch deck or edit your pitch deck to make it look suitable to what investors want to see. We will prepare your startup pitch and rehearse it so it becomes a killer pitch to make every investor get excited and fall in love with you. We will present your team in the right way so they look like a team of superheroes and every investor wants to work with you and believes in you. I will share with you all the useful practical tips and tricks and hacks on what works best to make investors excited and make them line up for your company. I will also give you an honest feedback on your company and your product and you as a founder from the investor's perspective and tell you all the things that investors won't tell you, but what they really think about you and how they will evaluate you. So you will have an advantage to get prepared in order to present yourself and your company in the best possible way. I will also rehearse and practice with you all the answers to the most likely questions that investors will ask you, and I will tell you what those questions are. So you will have time to prepare all the data and all the extra documentation to show. I will also help you source the investors and share insider strategy on how to look for them, which databases and sources to use, how to filter the right ones from the wrong ones, how to do your due diligence on investors, how to approach them, what to write in your email, especially in a cold email, what to say, what to write in your short summary, and also depending on the format of our work together, we can even do all those things for you. All the intros, the emails, all the meetings follow-ups, all the investor search and profiling, and all you will have to do is just to show up at those meetings. And today they are geography agnostic, happening in Zoom. And you will just have to deliver your best pitch, and that's all. Also, there is a plus having an intermediary like myself as an advisor between you and the investors. That will give you actually a leverage in negotiations, big time. Plus, we can also connect you with all the best startup attorneys to help you seal the deal, to solve all your visa and company registration issues, the intellectual property rights. We will connect you with the right Silicon Valley mentors as well to help you improve your product or your business strategy, to fix all the little mistakes, internal problems, to make you look more investable. And at the end, this collaboration will not just save a lot of your time. And today, time means resources. Because again, what is the burn rate of your company today? And can you afford to waste time? But what is more important, this collaboration I'm offering you will maximize your chances to raise capital, to get in front of the right investors as soon as possible. A big advantage of such customized support and working with me as your fundraising advisor compared to, for example, joining an accelerator is that with me you will get an individual attention to the process. We will be focused only on you and your fundraising strategy and your company's time and speed individually. While in Accelerator, you are a part of the group, which aside from all the exciting networking, which not always is relevant, but being a part of the group is itself quite distracting thing. Because you would be moving with the speed of the group. You will have to wait till the end of the batch to participate in a pitch day, in a demo day. And on that demo day, everyone will be pitching. And not everyone will get a chance to get investors' attention, obviously, because there are so many of you, so many of great projects, and you all compete for the same investors at once. Instead, what I'm offering to startups as an individual track, focused and tailored just for you. And this is your personal fundraising process. And I am your personal fundraising guide and helper in it. Of course, I can't work with everyone because there are so many startups and I'm just one. Nevertheless, I have a great team helping me, but I choose only the projects that I believe in. The projects where I feel synergy with the team, and it is important that the founder is coachable and pleasant to work with, and we can make a great team. Of course, this format will cost more than the group program that I also have, which is a fundraising bootcamp where I teach you all the things, how to do fundraising yourself. But again, it is a group format, and I will be telling you about it next time. But today, as an individual success story of your startup, as a seed stage startup that you are, doing your first fundraising campaign, entering the US market for the first time, and if you have a working product, if you have users and preferably you have some revenue, I do encourage you to please reach out to me and talk to me. Send me your deck and I will ask you a few questions and look at your deck, and I see if you have a potential. If I see this potential, I will do my best to help you. I will share with you all my knowledge, all my connections, all the expertise to help your startup succeed and get funded. Because, for me, honestly, there is no greater pleasure than seeing talented founders succeed. And also being a part of this success story, of course, is very grateful experience. So, if you are a startup founder in your fundraising process and you want my help, send me a message, send me a link to your website, send me a pitch deck, and I will take it from there. Thanks, guys. That's all I have for today. It was Tatiana and Dina, and I look forward to hearing from you.